here, off the record, right? I was talking to Alexandre before you arrived, and we were saying that he mentioned Lovato, right? That he started a friendship with Lovato during the pandemic, right?
That's right.
And that then I was chatting, we were talking here, and I said, man, it's interesting, right? That he said, no, man, Lovato.
Oh, it's not recording. Yes, it is recording. Oh, okay. You spoke off the record before.
We were talking off the record there. It's because I was bad mouthing Lovato. Lovato, a kiss for you, my brother.
I don't know him personally, but I know he's a great luthier.
So what were we talking about? I was telling him that I'm reading a book that talks about relationships not being vertical, but more horizontal. Because we can always learn from another person if we put ourselves in a position of equality. Here I am. You, here everyone is equal. We are not identical, but we are equal.
We are indeed more Jungian than Freudian.
In that vibe. So the idea is, you said, man, I learned something from a little kid there, 10 years old. Wow, that's really cool. If you put yourself in the position of a learner, you can be very good at what you do, but I think it's very important to put yourself in the position of a learner. Always, every day you need to have at least 1% there, where someone can teach you something. You can always learn something.
Our profession is all day long, man. Every moment they invent something new, they invent a piece of equipment. And so they invent a new piece of equipment or give a different name to something that already exists. So sometimes the treble bleed. Before I knew about the treble bleed, people would call me asking if I do treble bleed. I said, man, I'm married. I don't do those things.
Those treble bleeds.
I did a lot when I was younger, but nowadays... So like, I'm giving an example with the treble bleed, but there are many other things. That a guitarist in a certain place who has a signature guitar and doesn't want it to be like the others, he agrees there that the potentiometer has to be reversed and gives it the name X. The next day, someone is calling you asking if you do that. You say, man, what do you mean? I've never heard of this in my life. Then you go research and find out.
There are many people who work in the most diverse professions, but they are much more media oriented. It's something much more network based. It's not like us who have this experience and an experience like that has attached to it a very big responsibility, right? Because there are people who leave the instrument there, and when it's time to leave, the guy's like looking at the guitar, like, be careful with it. Like,
that's a feeling that I think is, at least I try to have it in the service. You can already understand many times by exchanging ideas over WhatsApp in this pre-service, you can already get a sense like that.
It also helps to filter, right, man?
And then an alert goes off, like, I know how the instrument will be treated, how it will be stored while it's with me. The client obviously can and should be suspicious if they don't know, if it's the first time, if they're coming without a referral, although almost no one comes without a referral nowadays. I serve practically everyone by referral. But it raises an alert for you to try to be as clear and transparent as possible, to show what will be done.
This is essential. Honesty. In treatment, in caring for people, that's why I don't charge for making an estimate. I don't charge either. I prefer that the person comes over. I don't like giving prices over WhatsApp. It also depends on the person. When it's someone closer, we talk. But at first, no, man. Bring it over. I'm not going to charge you to use it. I want to see the instrument. I want to see if it's working, because I've already condemned a Gibson, A guy came with a Gibson R8 and I condemned it because its truss rod had a limit. People don't believe it. That's it.
I condemned a Martin. I have a Martin that has come back to the workshop 3 times. The same one. Yeah. Let's go.
Tell us. Let's go. It's the neck bending back.
The neck of the Martin, at some point, it bends forward. And you can no longer adjust the string height. Okay. The saddle is already at its lowest. It won't go any further, and the neck is slightly forward. It rose even more, right? And then you explain to the client, look, you have to loosen this neck, heat it, remove the screws. There's one with 2 screws inside that you can take out, but there's a bit of glue between the fretboard and the body. You have to heat it up, you have to lift it. But there's a problem called originality. And then you see, right, it's written all over the person's face when you explain this. It's like I'm saying I'm going to open their chest and perform heart surgery, man. How come?
Imagine the guy turning pale. There's the issue of the varnish. There's the issue of a lot of things.
So what do I try to do? I say, it's like a done deal. I never know what will walk through the door of my workshop. I understand that I'm there to adapt the client's expectations and needs. But I have to know if I am up to the expectations. First, the need, me. And second, the expectation. Because, man, I don't know when I tell you that a sound is beautiful. You will think of a sound that is beautiful to you. He will think of one, I will think of another. So when I tell him that the instrument will be 100%, 100%, what does that mean? It's like when it left the factory there at Martin, there might be a small scar mark. Suddenly, a tiny micro scar mark is enough for the guy to look and say, Vesika, it ruined my instrument. Although previously the instrument was not playable, it was a paperweight. No. And now it is a playable instrument. It tunes perfect for playing. But there are some marks that are inherent to a surgery of removing the neck, removing the outfit. Got it. So I tried to explain this, and it has happened before. I explain all this to the guy, and the guy is like, do this. Don't leave it with me. Take it home. Think about it. And then bring it back. Then he takes it. A month passes, and he comes back. Okay, but explain this finish to me better. How is it going to look? I say, man, it still hasn't sunk in what we're going to do. Then he takes it. Then comes back.
It's worse when this happens with, I won't mention brands here, but with really, instruments that the guy, then you start losing a bit of patience, folks. I said, dude, come on, look. I take a deep breath. I said, my brother, here comes an instrument with a limited series, Gibson, of which there are only 100 in the world. Instruments worth 50,000 reais, 40,000 reais, you understand? This is an instrument that you need to be concerned about. Your cheap instrument. You have to make Orsoneto work the best possible way for you. You don't worry about its originality, especially because nothing original in that instrument is any good. You have to change the tuning pegs. You have to change the pickups. That's music to my ears. I heard you say that. That's music to my ears. I say, because I said, look, but what do you think of this instrument? There's the instrument. It has a very good neck. His body is acceptable, If it has a solid top, man, it has a solid top. You're going to have it will yield a little more. So instead of plastic, use bone, right? Use abo. You can spend some money on the pickups, So let's put in an original Fishman. You'll spend some money, but you'll have a great sound. Put in a Goto bridge. Then you'll have a balanced instrument because I know the neck won't give you any trouble. I know the body won't give you any trouble. There's nothing mechanical there that could ruin an instrument, right? Yeah, like a girl brought one of those really cheap guitars yesterday, right? And they put the string without the saddle directly, on the bridge. Then it makes a horrible sound. There's this support here for the strings, So I took one out and put a little support and strummed the guitar. So, unbelievably, this guitar has a truss rod there and a neck, and with an excellent neck to bridge ratio. I'll be able to place the saddle at a good height. The guitar will be comfortable, And the guitar costs $400, $500. You understand? She will spend practically that amount, but she'll have a functional instrument. So this needs to be explained. For me, as a musician for over 40 years, a practitioner, you convey this information with more confidence, right?
I don't know if this happens to you, Kleber. Sometimes the person already comes with information they read on the internet. And you explain once, you explain twice. Then the guy takes out his phone. But this video here, then you say, man, do this, take that person's phone.
What I have to say can't be said here.
You take that person's phone and take it to him to do it better, carefully.
Exactly. Take it to him, take it there.
But you know what happens?
Just let me, you can add to that. Eliezer and I were on Karaoke Street in one of those shops there and such, and we were looking at the display window. We were commenting, I don't know what, this arm, I don't know what else. He said, no, see there, I don't know what. And the guy takes up notice. Do you repair instruments? I said, yes, we do repair. We are luthiers and such. Oh, you are luthier. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, sorry, no. Then I said no, but why, my friend? No, I don't understand. No, I took my instrument to a luthier, and the luthier destroyed the instrument. I said, no, you didn't take it to a luthier, man. You took it to an amateur. You didn't have the information. You didn't seek guidance. No, man, we build instruments. We take a piece of wood and turn it into a guitar. A piece of wood turns into a bass. You understand? Far superior to the ones you see in the shop window and such, right? So, for you to see how this thing about how information reaches you, right? Because precisely this thing about someone watching a video, that's where I seek that thing of the pearl of the pearl of the pearl of the pearl. I won't say professional. I'm one of the person who claims to work with that, but it's just a media thing, right? It's not a matter of the guy is after followers, not after doing there are many people doing it, unfortunately.
This is a good topic to expand on later.